Hey Randy, this is Greg from North Carolina. This SpaceX stuff sounds really exciting, but I don't know what to think about it. Can you help me sort it out a bit? Thanks, bro.
That's a great question. And I normally don't comment on individual stocks, but SpaceX is the most exciting, most significant offering in our lifetime, if not in history. And they have this very compelling backstory and profound opportunities, and we truly cannot grasp the long term potential in space. But at the same time, SpaceX has pushed the acceptable boundaries of valuations. And on a side note, as the markets get more comfortable with those kind of valuations, we'll probably see other, especially AI companies, do likewise. More on that in a moment. But the backstory. We all know about Starlink. We've all heard about AI data centers in space. And on top of that, there is talk of wrapping other projects like robotics under that umbrella. There will be, again, profound opportunities. And we do not grasp at this point the untapped potential of space. And SpaceX is not just the dominant player in space, they look to be so for many years to come. So what's the downside? Well, back to that valuation. Now, historically, companies would trade at anywhere from 15 to 20 times earnings. In other words, the price was 15 to 20 years of earnings. Now, that's a bit old-fashioned. Tech stocks changed that paradigm, and 30, 40, even higher became acceptable. But SpaceX is trading well over 100 times earnings. So what does that mean practically? What it means is when you buy that stock today, no matter how good it looks, you're prepaying, you're paying today for that future success. And not just years down the road, potentially decades down the road. Now, there's another narrative going out there, and that is the insider selling. So when a company goes public, there's a lockup period where the investors, the initial owners, employees have to wait a certain period of time before they can liquidate. And when that lockup period expires, you're hearing lots of talk of price declines, price opportunity. And I'm not sure that will really happen. Because while when the lockup period ends, insiders will liquidate some, they're funding personal lifestyles. There's another caveat, there's another issue that plays into it. So the NASDAQ has fast-tracked changing the rules specifically for SpaceX, where we will probably very quickly see that stock incorporated into indexes and exchange-traded funds. And that means two things for us. One is, if you're using indexes and ETFs to build the core of your portfolio, you will wind up owning it regardless. But it also means that even though the insiders liquidating will put downward pressure on the prices, indexes and ETF purchases will put a floor in there, pushing it up, potentially balancing out. Now, so in reality, while prices will fluctuate, and there's always the potential that you might be able to make a quick profit, you really have to go into it with that very long-term perspective. What's my real takeaway? And that is this: your goal is to build transformational wealth. And so frequently, I've seen over the years, people get excited about these kinds of offerings, and they wind up with this very eclectic mix that has no cohesiveness, some of which perform amazingly, some not so much. Ultimately, always build your core first. Again, that transformational wealth is going to transform your life, your lifestyle. And if you've got the core and you want a holding like SpaceX, great. Just again, remember, it's a very, very long-term position.